Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Frank, what should the golfers be looking out for today?
Going to have to play well from tee to green for a start. That's where most of the problem is. It sets up beautifully for what we call a second shot golf course. Providing you can get the ball in play, you will get rewarded for good iron play around here. The reason why is because when you miss, you're penalized.
We're here at the opening par 4 first. Frank, what's the best play here to avoid that bunker that cuts right at the fairway?
You've either got to move it from that left side of the fairway if you're a fader of the ball and just cut it back into the middle, or perhaps use that bunker that you've just referenced to turn it away from that. But you need a good one down the fairway because of the length of this hole. 450 yards, do not want to have a long second shot out of that fairway bunker.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Frank, what's the player facing now with this approach shot here at the first?
Well, Rich, that tee shot looked like a draw off the tee. The second shot, because of that bunker just short right of that green, suits the cut coming in here.
Locked in on the read and the speed. -1, ain't really going. He's putting for birdie now. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. To the second hole now, par 4, only 371 yards. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
It's really a layup hole here. No need to hit driver down there. The biggest bunker in the distance there is about 300 yards. You have to avoid that. Nothing wrong with hitting an iron or even a hybrid off this. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut. That's not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part. This is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
Frank, this TPC Stadium course in La Quinta, California has quite a history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Every style of golf, age group, and whether it's someone trying to get their tour card at the tour school, skins games played here from 1986 to 1991, even the PGA Club Professional Championship, they've all come and played here. It's so good to see it on the back on the rotation. But I've got to say, the one thing, and I was there in 2000. It was the PGA Tour Q School. It was won by Stephen Allen, who was an Australian player. But the worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course happened on Alcatraz, 17th hole there. Joe Daly, who was looking like he was going to make his PGA Tour card, had a putt of about 3 feet. And I think he was playing with Craig Perks, who went on to win the Players' Championship. Joe Daly hits this putt. It hits the back of the hole, the liner in the hole, and popped out on the front lip. Never saw that before. It was amazing. And as luck would have it, Joe Daly missed his tour card by 1 shot.
That was as cruel a twist as I have ever seen in golf. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle. Obviously, you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Solid par to remain 1 under. Just a couple of feet. He'll take par and move on. Frank, Pete Dye certainly gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. It's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
It's fine.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And he's made it onto the green now. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nice par to remain 1 under. Did the job right there. Now at the 4th, par 3, and Frank, what's the key here?
Somehow find some green grass. The name Sandpit pretty much tells you what is around the green.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
This putt for par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. One under for the round. Well, here we are at the 5th hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Well, Frank, these winds have not at all subsided. Still a challenge.
Yeah, but the same for everybody, and that's where you've just got to adjust your own mental par. Golf course was going to be difficult when you teed off. It's certainly no different now.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
And it makes the green in regulation. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good 72-hole score in the book, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. You know, you can have a flash of brilliance, make 5 or 6 birdies. It can be offset by doubles and quadruple bogeys. And in the end, it's the end. What did you do? The plus and the minuses. And that's why all our biggest championships have, and of recent, been stroke play.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Kind of a tricky read. Not a gimme, but well within his range. He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a little tap in here, and with that putt, he moves to 3 under. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Tough break. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Settles in over the putt.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Has it, and he's 2 under par. Has this now for bogey. And he makes it for a bogey here. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Now ready for the explosion shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
And it generates some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
Second shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
A little bit more hope than determination in that putt. Really. This is that awkward length.
Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Clean this up with a tap. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. 555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze.
And this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough.
It was a little over-ambitious.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And getting ready for the putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
In red figures at 1 under par. Did the job right there. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th.
Oh, I liked that.
Setting up for the approach, this player in total command.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The decision-making, club selection's being spot on, but the execution, the swing, is really what I'm admiring right now.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Getting set now over the putt. Really moving in the right direction at 3 under. So just a formality here. -2 for the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
So, sizing up the approach shot here at the par 4 10th. What's a player trying to work out right now with their caddy?
Distance club selection is always the situation here when you have something to carry and something to stay short of.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie putt here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble.
This will be a 14-foot putt here. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, touch of a locksmith out there, making everything.
Yeah, and the result, yet another birdie too. Totally in command.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Nice par to remain 3 under. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green, little pitch up there. But even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Good contact, good result. And from the fairway for his second shot here. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Now the third shot here at the par 5 11th. That will be a great look at birdie. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And you have to like that. 4 under. Just a couple of feet. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longest second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank here at the par 4 12th, getting ready for this approach shot. Good chance for a 3.
There is. Notice the contours on the green. They sort of slope towards the back and down that left side. So you can actually use that in your favor with this approach.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. So yet another short iron shot into a par 4 here at the 12th. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this. Will make birdie if he holds this putt. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 4 under on the day. Tricky par 3 here, the 13th, 214 yards. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt.
How did that not go in?
That was not a very good read right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Starting to put something special together, 6 under par. showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Excellent looking shot here. Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, what do you like here on this approach shot at 14?
Green is more triangular. It's wider at the front, narrows as you get towards the back of this green. If you're going to go with that back flag, you can perhaps bring something in there a little lower and sort of skip it up. Apart from that, just a nice, high, soft landing short iron.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. With that, moves to 5 under par. Now to the par 4, 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those two bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
Frank, what are you thinking on this second shot here at 15?
Well, if mentally you could take out all that bunker complex on the left, this second shot would look extremely straightforward. And that's really the way you've got to play it. You've got to act like those bunkers aren't there on that left side. And therefore you can go straight at this flag. Oh, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Second shot now at 15.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. This will be a birdie if it drops. Now 8 under on the day. Settles in over the putt. Has it for par. Stays at -5. Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you've mentioned, bends to the left, and that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
That's an absolute beauty. Second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Par 3 17. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years.
this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, what's ahead after missing the par 3 here?
Well, a tricky little shot coming up, but really this is a difficult par 3, so if you can get this up and down, it still won't be a lost cause.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I tell you, a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Perfect, and in the hole. What a shot. One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You are allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank, one last critical approach shot here at 18.
Well, if we see someone left of this flag that's not in the water, they've pulled their second shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Moves to -8. Just 5 feet left. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Enjoyed it, Frank.
Certainly did, Rich. Once again, the golf course provided more than a stern test.
And for the entire team, I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. We are here at TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Rich Lerner, pleased as always to be alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action. Frank, what are the keys to success around the stadium course?
Staying dry is one thing, Rich. Water is everywhere. It's tempting, it's punishing. And also remember, ever since this golf course was established back in 1980, we've seen every type of player win this, from the straight to the long. But the only common denominator out of all the champions that have graced this great golf course is nerve and the ability to finish.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
The officials are calling that one around 310 yards.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Ooh, the big bopper got a hold of one there. 325 yards. Hello there. Frank, the approach shot here at the par 4 first. What's the right way to attack?
The much easier flag is down that right side because you can run that ball with the slope to that low side. Tough flag on the left. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. He'll need to be strong with this. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Still even par for the day. So a tester from 4 feet. So just getting started, even par so far. Second hole here at Sawgrass, 532-yard par 5. Frank, considered one of the easier holes on the golf course, is that right?
Yeah, you don't have to hit it miles down there. Anything that turns a little to the player's left certainly helps. There are some trees down the left side. Just want to avoid those. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards. There's something about a well-hit shot.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perch, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
And getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. One under early in the round. Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass, relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Challenging shot now from 180 yards. is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. Second shot. No snack, though.
So a drop shot here at the third hole, Frank.
Yeah, another putt missed.
Getting set now over the putt. He's made a birdie. Takes the score to 2 under par. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Just a couple of feet. Running a little hot right now. Cool down just a little bit. Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of two evils is to be in the bunker on the right.
No complaints there. In the fairway, down there about 290 yards. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. This looks like it's going to find the target.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good looking birdie. Frank, the second here at the 4th is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back. Really? This is an awkward length.
Just has the feel today. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful putt. 5th hole, good par 4, isn't it, Frank?
If ever a hole was built for Lee Trevino, who used to love to cut it, this would be the hole. It just looks and screams for a shot that's hit left to right. And that's the only way really to avoid bunkers left and long, and that one that's all the way down the right side.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
So where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Good-looking shot right here. This one measures out to 15 feet.
You'd like that one again. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
How about that? 4 under par. Could use this one. This is for par. Did the job right there. Frank, what are the players facing here at the 6th, 393-yard par 4?
Ideally, you just want to hit that ball about 250 yards. It's going to leave you a shot of sort of 140 yards in. Then the green looks quite big because you're far enough back that those palm trees don't become a problem.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Good swing, good shot yet again. locked in on the read and the speed. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Still even par for the day. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight. Confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side. Just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that, it's actually a pretty good line.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Strategically, Frank, how do you like to play this hole?
You've got to be aware of where you don't want to go. That front right bunker is probably the easiest bunker shot on this hole, but there's a little pot bunker on the left. That one there, always difficult to get it up and down.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Setting up for an approach shot here. See a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it. Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
It's a good-looking putt right here. He might like it.
Never looked like missing it.
Makes birdie, continuing to amaze on the greens, Frank.
Putted well all day, Rich. Had a couple of good holes early on and just, I think, found the groove. Has taken it to another level.
Boy, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. This is how the game is supposed to be played. This has been just outstanding. Beautiful to watch. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Frank, narrow entryway to this green here at the 9th. Short shot, but kind of difficult.
Yeah, don't want to get too aggressive here. You missed the green on the left, that bunker there. Very difficult to get it up and down. And, of course, there's the two little pot bunkers on the right side.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. This can be a cruel game at times. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. And you're not going to birdie every hole.
On fire right now. 7 under par. Just a little tap in here. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Hang on. Alright guys, listen, thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. You've all been amazing. If you can hear me now, I'm just going to head off now. Oh, I'm getting feedback, sorry. Bear with me. Right, okay. Thanks for tuning in guys, I appreciate it. And thank you for sticking with us for like 3 hours solid. Peace! All the best guys, thanks again.